Guys, what's going on? Welcome back to another episode of the Cursed Podcast. My name is JB, your paranormal host for today, here with my co-host Kylo, and special guest again, Tony. What's going on, guys? My fellow paranormal compadres.
Nothing. We're just hunting down these cryptids.
Yeah, these cryptids, these ghosties. Kylo, how you doing, man?
I'm not too bad. Trying to search.
That's great. We're gonna get right into
crack
today.
the case.
Yeah, we're gonna crack a case today, like an egg at breakfast. So today, Kylo chose our topic. Kylo, what are we researching? What are we cracking down on
What
today?
topic did you pick?
So the topic I chose was the Loch Ness monster.
The Loch Ness monster.
Do you think
Is
it's
it
real? We'll know at the end.
Yes, we will. We'll find out. We'll present the evidence, and we're gonna, guys. We're gonna start for a good episode. I had a lot of research. I was up till like 6 a.m. fucking like for 3 hours, like just doing research. It's actually kind of fascinating because there's a lot of history behind this creature and whatnot, and tourism for it.
There's about 350 years of
Would you say tree fitty?
tree fitty years.
About tree fitty, yeah.
About tree fitty years of spookiness.
You know, I'll be happy to be if someone watches. They love the podcast so much they donated just tree fitty exactly to the Patreon.
That would be amazing.
Would love it.
Tree fitty a month.
It's like I will pay tree fitty every episode not to see fucking Tony in it anymore. I'm joking.
We'd probably accept it.
Yeah. So on this episode of Cursed
if
Podcast,
I get the tree fitty.
we're taking a little journey to Scotland.
Just make sure the fitty ain't Detroit coins.
And the beautiful Highlands, one of the deepest freshwater lakes in the world. Today we're investigating the second most famous cryptid in the world, Nessie.
Wait, what is that shit?
Otherwise known as the Loch Ness Monster.
What's that red box?
That's nothing.
Okay, I'm just like, what is
It's not
that?
showing up on the video. But
Okay, I hope
yeah,
not.
it's okay. Anyways, yeah, where were we? So, yeah, we'll take it back. Kylo, where were we? You want to check out? You want to go into the origins of Loch Ness here?
So, well, one of the origins, Tony's going to be telling us about it. It's in a old story called the St. Columba in...
No, I just talked about the encounters.
The story and writings of St. Columba, it goes back all the way to there. That was the first encounter I got, but we'll get to that later. But the Loch Ness Monster is supposedly a sea monster that inhabits the Lake Loch Ness. And
Where's that?
It is in Scotland, close to, I think I have a city here. It was Albany or Albine, something odd like that.
Yeah. So, first sighting Loch Ness. Where was it? When? You want to go back to the like first record like account, or do you want to go like to the maybe the most legit one? Go ahead.
So there's a guy named Columba.
Guy named Cunt. All right.
So Cunt Columba was in the land of Picts, and one day he was a saint and he was a monk and stuff. So he was out there. He was out there with his buds.
This is one day. I'm a saint today, brother.
And so this monk dude was out there with some of his followers and his buddies.
Monking around up to no good.
You know, they're out there with their
to
bald
look up
ass
her
heads.
cryptids up.
And then so they're like, hey, we're just out here just chilling by the Ness. And they encountered, they were burying a man. A bunch of men were burying a man. And then they were by the river Ness. And the man said their friend was swimming the river when all of a sudden this water beast appeared from underwater. And it mauled him to death. And he called everyone back to swim across. And as the men did, the monster was approaching them. And Columba made the sign of the cross. And he told them to go no further, to cross. And to not touch the man that was attacked by the mauled beast. Or the beast that was mauling him.
You know, that supports the theory of not going in anything freshwater related. If you can't see straight down to the bottom, you stay the fuck out of there. One of my biggest fears is swimming and your foot touches something, but it's not the bottom of the floor. So then, and it's fucking
So then all these dumbass monk dudes were like, oh my god, that was a miracle. That was not some evil. That wasn't, you know, when Columbus saw it as some evil, everyone else was like, that was a fucking miracle, you idiot. And so then, like, they went and spread the story as this, like, miraculous beast, sea creature thing, you know, that was good. but
So-
it wasn't good. Maybe.
Supposedly, yeah, that's the first sighting of
Oh,
the
did you
Loch
notice
Ness
that
creature
your
monster.
Pulp Fiction thing you could see through?
Mhm. Yeah, it did. So yeah, the first sighting of the Loch Ness monster was recorded in May 2nd of 1933. It was actually happened a month prior, but recorded in a newspaper called the Inverness Courier. It tells an account of a local couple who claimed to have seen an enormous animal rolling and plunging on the surface of the water in Loch Ness. So this specific story, it blew up all over Scotland, became a media phenomenon. Like people were flocking to Scotland just to see this. Like London newspapers sending out correspondence to Scotland, and just a circus offering £20,000 reward for capture of Nessie.
I'm sorry, real quick. When did you say your first encounter?
1933.
1933. Tony, I think you have another one right there in 1802
Yeah, well, it says 1862 actually.
or 62. My bad.
Yeah, a man named Alexander MacDonald, he saw a large stubby-legged animal within the Loch Ness River, or lake, whatever, the body of water, and it was approaching him, and then, Alexander MacDonald was another witness after the events of Columba. That was the next example of a witness. But then it jumps back to 1933 with George, which you were just speaking about, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So go ahead and continue that.
Yeah, so like after that sighting originally in April, interest just grew steadily. Like after another couple claimed to have seen animal on land, which I don't know how specific that is, how many claims there are. I'm sure there's got to be hundreds of claims of Loch Ness by people just touring and everything like that. Amateur investigators for decades kept almost a constant search, all the way up until the 1960s. Several British universities launched sonar expeditions to the lake. Nothing conclusive was found, but each expedition, the same operators, some of the sonar operators detected something large, underwater. They couldn't identify it. But here's something really interesting. In 1975, another expedition combined sonar and underwater photography in Loch Ness. Photo resulted that, after enhancement, appeared to show that the voyage, it resembled a giant flipper of an aquatic animal. So I'm gonna pull this up on my phone real quick for you guys, so you can see what the sonar equipment picked up. It's pretty fucking insane. So here is the first image that the sonar picked up in 1975. Here it is, Johnny. And then we'll have that up on the screen for you guys.
That doesn't look like shit.
I really don't see much. And here is another photograph.
Wow,
I
amazing.
think supposedly in that one's supposed to be the flipper right there, but right there it's that little slant up like that.
Yeah, I think so. So, so Robert Rhines, the lead investigator of this expedition, he just broke the paranormal world with this information, these photographs, because the only other photograph we have of Nessie is from the 1933 Sturgeon's photograph, I think it's called, the most famous one.
Just proved to be fake.
Yeah, later as a hoax, which we'll actually get into a little bit later. But yeah, his team managed to photograph the Loch Ness monster, supposedly. So, they took these photos and they took them to Loch Ness Monster Exhibition in 1980, and as you can see on two photos I showed you, that there are two different ones, and especially in color. And it is said that because there was issues in copying the said photos, and there's actually a bigger thing at play here, which is a conspiracy. All right, so the applied sciences, they were given the photos, and that Robert thinks that they actually did a terrible job. He thinks that they literally botched the photos. I showed you guys the pictures before, the two separate ones. I'm gonna pull them up again. We're actually recording this second part on the second day, if you cannot tell. Tony and I changed clothing. Kylo was not.
It's a jacket, asshole.
So these are the photos again.
Oh, I remember. Yeah.
So.
We're just what the fuck is that?
Yeah, they're is it a fan? We don't know. Yeah. So according to some accounts, nothing that the Academy says or does can be guaranteed to be accurate. And so when they say that these were adjacent framed from the elapsed time that the camera used in Loch Ness, although they cannot be sure that they were taken at the same time, just taken at the same time the expedition, or even taken at Loch Ness at all. So they're well, this proves nothing because it doesn't. How do we know it's even taken at Loch Ness? So it's just they're just. I feel like they're not putting any faith in it at all. The Academy claimed to passed the original like negatives to NASA. Some stuff with them. I don't know why NASA has any interest in the Loch Ness fucking monster at all. Yeah, but we even have more expeditions leading to the 80s and the 90s, resulted in more inconclusive readings with sonar and stuff. And yeah, even in 1994, up to that point, we have one like accurate piece of evidence, one photo called the Sturgeon's photograph, which was originally taken in 1934, and it was actually revealed to be hoaxed in 94, and yeah, so which actually didn't faze any like investigators or skeptics at all. People still like firmly believe that Nessie was a thing and whatnot. But yeah, for years skeptics were sure that the photo somehow was a hoax. Studies were conducted in the image until 1984. Stuart Campbell analyzed the photo in 84. Article in the British Journal of Photography. Campbell concluded that the object in the water could be only of 2 to 3 long, so not like a giant fucking sea creature, and probably was an otter or a marine bird, he thinks. Again, with these motherfucking skeptics thinking shit's a bird. Mothman, not a bird. Fucking Loch Ness Monster, not a bird, alright? I don't know how you guys can keep fucking it up, but you have to have an open mind, but not that open, okay? Yeah, so Campbell was wrong about that.
UFOs, birds.
That's a bird right there. Fucking like incinerates the dude.
You remember when that banshee screeched at us? It sounded like a bird.
That was a bird.
Shut the fuck up, Kyler. We don't talk about the banshee.
Nazis on the moon? Those are birds.
That really looks like a dove.
I guess you could say it looks like a duck.
That's funny. Yeah, it turns out Campbell was wrong. The object in the water was not any form of marine life. It was a large submarine outfitted with a sea serpent head, revealed in 1994. Christian Sperling's deathbed at the age of 90. He confessed to being involvement of the plot of it being faked. So that kind of sucks. Yeah, so we actually have some early accounts. We talked about St. Columbia in 1960, or excuse me, just 565 AD, about accounts of finding a buried guy and just the saint and the miracle that happened, right?
Yeah.
So we've got some stuff going on in the 1800s, right?
Yeah, of course. In 1802, a named Alexander MacDonald said he saw a large stubby creature laying atop of Lake Loch Ness. And before he was able to run away, think of what to do, or anything like that, it started to swim quickly towards him and then just went back down underwater. And nothing happened, but that claim's still there. Yeah, that would be quite terrifying. And I got one in July 22nd, 1933. A man named George Spicer and his wife reportedly saw the Loch Ness Monster crossing on a road that was not recently now, but back then recently built there, where sightings supposedly like escalated during that time. It was July 22nd, 1933.
1933. So after the first one, this is the report of the animal being seen on land that I talked about earlier.
Okay,
I'm glad I didn't know you had that actual account.
Uh-huh.
My bad.
Yeah, I got 2 accounts of that, but supposedly the monster just went across the road and back into Lake Loch Ness, and that's all they ever heard from him.
This is an SUV cryptid. It goes on land and water, son.
Yeah, that kind of scares me. I also have a motorcyclist named Arthur Grant who supposedly was riding down on that road quite quickly, and before he could react, he saw the monster go by, almost crashing himself.
I always just like full-on flippers on the sand and shit.
Yeah, just like trying to scurry by real quick. I think that shit would be hilarious. He quoted that the monster looked like a mix of a seal and a Paleosaurus, the supposed dinosaur that looks a lot like the Loch Ness Monster right now from way back when.
Yeah, so this plesiosaur, an ancient long-necked marine reptile that died out alongside with the dinosaurs, and yeah, during the mass extinction 65 million years ago. But yeah, it's kind of interesting. A Scottish geologist named Hugh Miller discovered the first British plesiosaur bones on the Scottish Isle of Aigan in 1844. But according to that geologist, there's not a single reptile or our vertebrate data, and nothing that sat in the expected place that a plesiosaur DNA sequence might be predicted to lie, somewhere between birds, crocodiles, although some like eel. They found a lot of eel DNA within the lake that so I actually forgot about this. So they took...
Was it connected to the ocean?
Like
Loch Ness?
No, I don't
I'm
think
not
so.
sure. I'm pretty sure it's just like a lake.
Okay.
A large lake. So like, this is really interesting. So they took thousands of samples of water, and they found DNA samples of like animals and stuff like that, and they went to surrounding lakes nearby, and they collected like hundreds of samples from those lakes, and they cross-referenced to see like, and they matched DNA, and like, oh, that's that animal, you know, and they try to look for anomalies in Loch Ness to see if they're like, this could be potentially Loch Ness because it's in none of these other DNA. But what kept coming up is they kept finding eel DNA matching, and so they think that Loch Ness was actually like, the Loch Ness monster was like an overgrown eel at some point. So they found a lot of like eel DNA matching that. There's another really wacky fucking fact is that there was a newspaper in Italy during World War II that after a couple of bombings actually reported that they killed the Loch Ness monster. Yeah, they reported that it died. I tried to find the clipping. I couldn't fucking find it. I heard about this a while ago, but I could not find anything about it though. I just think if that's real, that's fucking bananas. In 40s, early 40s, that shit happened.
Well, hey, come on! Like the Allied powers were fighting werewolves during the Nazi
Jesus
occupation,
Christ.
so you know.
The
Were we?
SS women of the that's an actual theory.
By Rob Zombie.
Yeah, that's an actual theory of like Nazi experiments and fucking werewolves and shit like that. It's ridiculous. What are you crazy kids up to in the paranormal division?
I'm a werewolf, rawr.
All you ghost hunters.
So we have like one more big comparison. So Loch Ness is like at the top of the tree, you know, and he's just got family everywhere. He's got eels. He's got
Dinosaurs. Fucking, just a whole bunch of shit.
Also, another really popular cryptid in North America known as Ogopogo, right?
Yeah.
That's your cue.
Oh, so Ogopogo is kind of pretty much how I see it. Is kind of like how, like Bigfoot also has like Sasquatch, and then has like
Yeti.
Abominable Snowman.
Same family.
Yeah, how it's like the same thing, but it's just like a different variant almost.
Mm.
So it's like it's a different variant, you know. And so at Lake, I can say stop. So at Lake Ogopogo, there's supposedly like a Nessie there.
There's a ghost. I was trying to fucking.
Yeah, there's a Lake Ogopogo. Or there's a... God damn it. At Lake Ogopogo, there's like another Loch Ness monster, which they call Ogopogo. And it was created by the natives of
Kyler looks skeptical as fuck right now. He's like, that's a bunch of fucking
I don't know how to
bullshit.
say this. Kellenwang, I think is how you say it. And it's in British Columbia, Canada, the Great Lakes. And he... oh, sorry. It's not Lake Ogopogo. It's Lake... Okangan. I don't know how to say a lot of these words. I'm sorry.
I might be wrong.
And
but
it's in
a lot of-
Okangan Valley. And it's believed to be related to the Salish.
Correct me if I'm wrong, but does any of it have to do with like any like Native American like?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
He's got
So
both tribes on there.
The Lake Spirit, which it's believed to be a spirit by... Oh, is that Ogopogo?
Yes, that's apparently a sighting of Ogopogo.
That does not look...
Yeah.
That's a bird, man. That's a bird.
I don't know what that is.
Bird.
Nazis coming down from the moon just to land on Lake Ogopogo.
That looks real
It's not
as
Lake...
fuck.
It's not Lake... It looks like a Sesame
Lake
Street
Okanai.
lake.
That looks decent.
It's not Lake
60
Ogopogo.
foot long.
It's
Motherfucker,
Okangan Lake. The monster's called Ogopogo.
Yes.
So then,
That's an island. Get out of here.
It's a fucking log.
Okangan Lake. So the natives who like started this rumor, which are the I believe you pronounce it Silks, and the Sequapimp. I don't know how to say these tribes. Sequapimp.
Yeah, we probably
and the Silks.
butchered those names. But
Yeah.
we definitely tried.
The Sequapimp and the Silk pretty much believe that it was like a spirit, this Loch Ness monster thing in Canada.
Or it's an interdimensional creature. It's actually Loch Ness, switching between different dimensions and teleporting across the world at different times and different places.
But I think that they're just fucking stupid and it was a bird.
100%. We may do an episode on Ogopogo if there's enough information on it, but I will find out. But yeah, I think Loch Ness is like has a fascinating like history behind it because like I think that's like probably the most viable like cryptid that you could find if you like dedicated enough research and time into it.
You think
like,
Bigfoot?
I mean, I think Bigfoot. I mean, like exploring a whole continent, you know, compared to a lake.
But I thought, oh yeah, I guess. But I thought Bigfoot was like restricted to like the
West,
the
like
Great
Northwest.
Mountains.
Yeah, you're definitely right, and Upper Canada and stuff.
Yeah.
I still think that like you're looking at a large lake, you know. I mean, like especially with sonar equipment, you know, which they found anomalies, but like they
I say we drain the fucker.
Make a whole bunch of bottled water.
We'll put it back.
We should flood fucking whales again, those sons of bitches. Fucking out with the rats.
We drain it.
It's just a big fucking like flopping fucking beast at the bottom.
We knew it. We knew it. We were right.
It looks like Cranky Kong because it's so fucking old and
It just sounds like a
fragile.
Tusken Raider. It's just like,
Boys, we found it. Put the water back in.
Fuck, it's dying.
fuck no, we're taking that thing to the museum, put a rope around it, just dragging it up from the neck.
It's just a couple guys in like a submarine that's shaped like it. It's like that Ace Ventura scene. They start crawling out the asshole of the Loch Ness Monster and they're like,
Guys, what happened to the submarine? You don't want that back. You don't want that
I've been
back.
in there for 60 years. Since 1975 exploration.
we've been very lonely.
Check out these photos. How do we know it's from Loch Ness?
That's not Loch Ness, that's my dick.
Jesus Christ.
Was it
at
60
the bottom,
years
you just
or
see,
about
like,
350 years?
Oh, I was about to say that joke. Son of a bitch. You know, like how a dragon like guards treasure? So the Loch was just guarding 350 under the lake. Just $3.50.
It just comes home and $1's gone. It's like, oh no. Oh no!
Lift up rocks, put it back.
Oh no, 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 no!
I got 325.
There's a dude going across the lake on a boat, just goes and gets that fucking asshole.
But yeah, I think that's pretty much our episode on the Loch Ness Monster. Guys, you know, if you enjoy... What? Oh shit, what's that?
He's counteracting my lean into the camera angle.
What is that? Is that
Oh.
Let's see. Alright, so...
Oh,
yeah.
it's going in.
Thanks again, guys, for watching. You guys
Wait.
enjoyed it. What?
We didn't do the, is it real or not?
Oh, my God.
Fucking amateur.
I think at some point the Loch Ness Monster was a thing, whatever it was. I don't know if it was necessarily a cryptid. It could have been a
Paleosaurus?
Could have been a dinosaur.
I think that too. Yes.
I think it was a dinosaur.
I think it was a dinosaur.
Yeah. Maybe. I mean, like 1930 was almost 100 years ago. You know. I mean, like think about it. Like
We have a lot of animals that we don't have from 100 years ago that are
and
gone.
we do have a lot of animals from hundreds and hundreds, from millions of years ago.
Yeah,
like
just
crocodiles
extinct
and
shit.
tortoises and
And there's
stuff
still
like
a whole
that.
bunch of shit we haven't even met underneath the ocean, too.
That's true. I mean, like maybe if we use some fucking sonar equipment, found it out. You know, the fucking applied science.
Well, how
economy.
deep is Loch Ness?
Oh, it's fucking.
It's
deep,
like
buddy.
one of the deepest freshwater lakes.
Well, then yeah, they probably aren't capable of getting that
Yeah,
deep.
that's why they did sonar though.
Yeah, but can sonar go that deep?
Yeah, we've mapped out ocean floors with it. We just don't know what's down in there.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, like it maps it out completely, and that's how we know.
But
the
so it
Mariana
wouldn't
Trench is
map
so
out the
deep.
Loch Ness Monster, though.
Yeah, you're right. It
Yeah.
doesn't map out the organisms.
Oh, shit.
Yeah. I mean, like they
That's
found like
scary.
disturbances and stuff like that they don't know. Like large ones, that's what the significant ones are to the research, saying that like we found like a lot of inconclusive data saying like we don't know what this is, and that's what potentially is the Loch Ness Monster. That's how we were able to map out the Mariana Trench, is with sonar equipment.
The one in the ocean?
Mm-hmm. The
Yeah.
deepest trench that we haven't been in, you know, because our heads will explode. James Cameron will do it someday.
He's got to raise the bar somehow.
Yeah. That's funny.
He's like,
Honey Boo Boo.
fuck Avatar 2, let's make the Mariana Trench movie.
The Trench.
James
trench.
Cameron, the greatest pioneer.
Head popping trenches.
Yeah. So Kyle, what do you think? What do you come down to?
It's probably not a cryptid. It's, in my eyes, definitely a dinosaur. I have no doubt something...
That should be our new scale. Cryptid or dinosaur?
Dinosaur! Bird! It's a bird!
Bird, cryptid, or dinosaur. It's not real bird, cryptid, dinosaur.
It's got to be a fucking bird. It's just got to be.
Can't explain it. It's a bird. It's gonna be one of the candidates on the 2020 presidential election. Bird.
Bird.
That's gonna be your undecided.
You got Donald Trump over there in a chicken outfit just like,
It just has an other section. Bird.
Yeah, so I agree. I think it was at some point it was a dinosaur that's probably dead now. But you haven't heard about it. What about the photograph though? The one that's like said to be a fake?
I think it's fake.
I don't know what to think about that. I mean, I'm sure it's fake, something photoshopped or whatever in there.
Yeah,
it wasn't around that.
Yeah, even if it is 100 live, it's been 100 years and no photograph evidence has come up like that conclusive. I mean, you could say the same thing about the Patterson footage of Bigfoot. You know, like the famous footage of him walking like in the woods, or it looks like the redwoods, but he's like walking. He like looks back slightly. He's got the long.
But he's like,
fur. Yeah, he's like. Yeah, literally that
he's like mid stride. He's like
that.
Oh!
Like no one like no footage has been that like legit, you know, since then.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's kind of hard. I think the photograph is probably fake, unfortunately. Even though it's like a fucking staple, you know.
I think like I don't want to say it was MythBusters, but there's like a.
I remember like Fact or Fake. They did like.
They recreated it by like
him walking.
Yeah. No. I'm talking about the Loch Ness monster. They like recreated the picture using like driftwood and shit, and then they like had someone pull it like out into the water and then like duck under the water real quick and like hold it in place while they took the picture, and it looked like it was just like a shape, pretty much.
Yeah.
Like that.
What that is. So.
Or like this.
Yeah, behind Kyle's big ass head. That is. We'll have to put something a little higher up next time. Yeah, so thanks again, guys, for watching. We all think this creature was real at some point.
Yeah.
Don't know what it was, but we
That's
definitely think
two.
it's a creature. Yeah, that's wait, that's 3 for 3.
Mm-hmm.
Or all 3 of us for yes.
Mm-hmm.
Nice.
That's 2.
Yeah. Kyler, I'm glad you're. How many yeses have you had in a row, man? Do you think everything's real?
I said no about the
Nazis.
Yeah.
What was with Nazis even about?
The moon.
Oh.
And
We
in
didn't talk
Antarctica.
about
Nazi
them.
occultism.
No,
It was
that's
just Nazi.
legit. They literally went. They went.
I know, but the people think they're still there.
Yeah, it was real. It was a Call of Duty mission,
The
man.
second Berlin.
That we didn't research that.
Oh, you didn't talk about second Berlin?
No, we were
In
going to save that
Antarctica?
for another one. Yeah, that's really interesting. New Berlin.
Yeah, I like that one.
Yeah, it's fucking crazy. You know about that?
No, I don't.
Yeah, we'll
I'm
talk
looking
about
forward
that.
to seeing that next time.
Yeah, Hitler's still alive down there. The humans live like thousands of years and whatnot.
It's kind of like, there's a Taskmaster comic book where he travels to this town where pretty much these Nazis were cloning Hitler with these brains, right? It was Hitler's brain, and they were cloning it. Well, eventually this explosion happened and it leaked into the water system, all the stuff from the factory, and so all the inhabitants of the town that were drinking the water literally developed Hitler
into
DNA.
Hitler.
And so literally the whole town is a bunch of Hitlers fighting over control of who's gonna run the town. It's a bunch of Hitler
That
people.
is hilarious. You know what sounds really weird? Like a weird like Bloodborne crossover where like they all give birth and they all have like little mustaches and like scramble Hitler. They all get like pregnant at the same time and give birth automatically. You haven't played Bloodborne though, so I guess.
That's
Whatever.
funny though.
Yeah. So thanks again, guys, for watching. Let's end this shit. It's fucking alright. We'll see you guys later on the next episode. Some more paranormal stuff in the future. Thanks again for watching the Chris podcast. But until next time, Tony, thank you for joining us again, and we'll see you guys later.